This gentleman here is Eliphas Levi. His true name was Alphonse Constanza. This man here was an occult writer of the 19th century. Now, many of the occult crimes that I've worked with police departments, with Ted Gunderson and other investigators in the past, they have come across a common occult symbol, or picture if you would, that this occultist, this Mason, was responsible for drawing. And I'm sure most of you have seen this by now. This was drawn by the hands of a Mason. And it is backwards. You will notice the polarity of light with dark and the hermaphrodite goat done by Eliphas Levi. You notice at the very top is a common occult symbol. It's known as a torch of illumination. This is where you gain the light of knowledge. Dr. Gerald Gardner, he started a particular movement in England, and so powerful was this movement and so popular was it that an entire branch of witchcraft was named after him. It became known as Gardnerian witchcraft. And one thing I did forget to point out, when I was in the military, unfortunately we did succeed at getting these religions pushed into and accepted into the military branches throughout the world. Because by April 15th, 1978, in the Army Chaplain's Handbook on Religious Requirements, all the major occult religions were added. We are talking about Gardnerian witchcraft, Alexandrian, the First Church of Satan. All these forms of the occult can now be legally practiced on any military base throughout the world. And there's nothing you can do about it because they're all federally recognized. They're all quite legal. Alex Sanders, another Mason, but also a very powerful witch himself, to which, as I just stated, he was so powerful and his movement was so powerful that they started a whole new occult religion known as Alexandrian witchcraft. He himself can be seen right here in one of his occult ceremonies. This is Alex Sanders right over here. You'll notice a familiar hexagram, and this circle, in this particular case, represents the Tetragrammaton. The Tetragrammaton comes from the Kabbalah, but that's another story itself. According to Albert Mackey in the Encyclopedia of Freemasonry, is what's known as the Law of Salik. The Law of Salik states that no female can become a member of the Masons. Again, this is not true. There has been many cases in which this has happened in the past and recently. This lady here is Elizabeth St. Ledger. She was initiated 1710 when she was only 17 years old. You will notice she has the compass and the square on her King James Version of the Holy Scriptures. You will notice she has a Masonic apron on, and notice the symbol of the sun. These people are sun worshippers. That's why, if you ever go to a Masonic temple, you will see that inverted five-pointed star on the east side wall of a Masonic lodge. This is where, of course, the sun rises in the east. The lady on the left, that is Madame Helena Petrovna Blavatsky of the Theosophical Society. She was the one through whom a major trust had come about. It was known as the Lucifer Trust through her society. But for obvious reasons, this did not become popular. So they abbreviated it to Lucis Trust. This grandmotherly figure is Annie Besant. She was one of the people who took over, well, actually, after Alice Bailey took over after Madame Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, Annie Besant took over after her. But Annie and so many other ladies, occultists, certain ones, were also Masons. You will notice, occultists, and it doesn't matter which sex, are still in the Masons. Now, assuming then that many Masons are into the occult religions, what are then the true doctrines of the Masons? In other words, what do they really believe in? According to a letter that was dated July 14th, 1889, and it was penned by Giuseppe Manzini, he stated, "That which we say to the crowd is this: we worship a God, but it is the God one adores without superstition. To you, sovereign, grand, instructed generals," now that's a 33rd degree Mason, "we say this: you may repeat it to the brethren of the 30th, the 31st, and the 32nd degree, that the Masonic religion should be held by all of us initiates of the high degree, maintained in the purity of the Luciferian doctrine." So then, according to this letter, they're saying that Lucifer is that source of light that they've been looking after. Albert Pike would agree, because he states in his book, Morals and Dogma, on page 821, Lucifer, and in this case it says Lucifer, and it's all capitalized, Lucifer. Lucifer, the light bearer. Is it he who bears the light? Doubt it not. Lucifer, according to their own teaching, is the source of light. We were always told it was Jesus Christ. We were also told that Lucifer, or Satan, whatever you want to call him, he's the evil god, the black one, correct? According to what they state, the true name of Satan, the Kabbalists say, is Yahweh, or God, reversed. For Satan is not a black god. For the initiates, this is not a person, but a force, created for good, but which may serve for evil. So then, Satan is perceived to be God, the source of light then. And again, in Albert Pike's book, Morals and Dogma, on page 70, he states, to conceive of God, the Kabbalah imagined him to be a most occult light. The first 3 degrees of Masonry, they're known as the Blue Degrees. You receive this at what's known as the Blue Lodge, or the Blue Lodge degrees. You would think that those people who are entering these first 3 degrees, that they're told the truth of what's going on. Now you're right, they won't. Albert Pike even put it very clearly when he stated, the blue degrees are but the outer court or portico of the temple. Part of the symbols are displayed there to the initiate, but he is intentionally misled by false interpretations. It is not intended that he shall understand them, but it is intended that he shall imagine he understands them.